They face well. They're off. And the rank outsider Columbina was last to leave, and Wiggly Woo best away. Leads more than a length. Appreciated settling. Greeting wide out third, and fourth Atlantic Rose. 2 to Anchors away. Couple of lengths to Silly Girl, and a length and a quarter Columbina. Now Little Cameron Swan slows the speed on Wiggly Woo, and Greeting goes up to almost join it. And as they race onto the course proper past the 1100 metres, Wiggly Woo about a half length on Greeting. Length and a half Atlantic Rose racing very ungenerously, and on its outside Appreciated. 2.5 Anchors away Columbina and Silly Girl. About 6 or 7 lengths would cover the field over the 850 crossing, and Wiggly Woo a length on Greeting. In third place and not settling, Atlantic Rose from Appreciated. Columbina is starting to make a dash around the outside of the field as they race on past the 550. And here Wiggly Woo really being attacked by Greeting, and wider out on the track is Columbina. 2.5 Atlantic Rose. Appreciated Anchors away 3 deep, and 3 lengths to Silly Girl. They're on the swing for home now. Wiggly Woo a neck on Greeting. Wider out is the roughie Columbina. Then Atlantic Rose. Appreciated Anchors away, and last is Silly Girl. Down to the 250. Wiggly Woo and Greeting beat off Columbina. Wiggly Woo the inside, and Greeting stride for stride. About 3/4 to Columbina. It's Wiggly Woo ahead in front, but Cooksley getting everything out of Greeting now. She's almost level. She's doing better, the favourite, and Greeting will score a long head to Wiggly Woo. 2 to Columbina third, followed home by Appreciated Anchors away. 8 to Silly Girl, and 3 Atlantic Rose.
Number 2, Greeting on the Super Tab, $1.70, $1.50. 1 Wiggly Woo, $1.90. 8 Columbina, no third.
In doing so on the New South Wales tote, pay $1.90 and $1.40. Number 1 Wiggly Woo battled on very well, $2, and there'll be no third tote for Columbina, who ran a very nice race. The winner is trained by John Hawkes for Jack and Bob Ingham's Woodland Stud Syndicate, by Canny Lad from High Precious, bred by the Inghams. A Bay Filly 2, 3 starts for 2 wins, or 4 starts now, and Grant Cooksley the winning rider. The time for the race, 1:25.74.
They're racing. They've gone away in a perfect line. Gold Chip near the inside and leading Bounty first out with Art and Les. Now nothing really wants to lead here. Fourth Mocha Master from Maybe Rough, Vautinsk, and Richard Cranium is now last as they settle, and heading past the 1,000-metre mark on the first round. The leader leading Bounty in the centre, Art and Les, and now Gold Chip goes up on the inside to take over, but they're all pulling. Maybe Rough is fourth. Between runners Mocha Master, a length away to Vautinsk, and on the inside is Richard Cranium. The next jump coming up though at the 800-metre mark, and the leader Gold Chip by 2 lengths. Maybe Rough going to second on the outside of Art and Les. Another 2 away to leading Bounty. Behind him Mocha Master, Richard Cranium and Vautinsk together at the rear. They're on the turn, 600 metres out on the first round, and the leader as they face up to 3 jumps in the straight is Gold Chip. Gold Chip in front here from Art and Les. Maybe Rough over on the outside, 2 lengths to leading Bounty, Mocha Master. Richard Cranium is coming out 3 deep to have a sight in the straight, and over on the inside Vautinsk. In this order they work down to the first of 3 in the straight near the 400-metre mark, and Gold Chip over it safely, 2 lengths in front of Maybe Rough. Art and Les is third, a length away to leading Bounty. Then Richard Cranium out 3 and 4 deep now, forcing him wide Mocha Master, and also Vautinsk over on the inside. Running down towards the judges' box with a round to go, 2,400 metres out, and the leader is Gold Chip. He's out 4 or 5 in front now of Maybe Rough. Art and Les third. Made a magnificent leap at that, this little pony in front. Third placing Art and Les, then Richard Cranium still out 3 deep. Leading Bounty on the inside. Between those runners then Mocha Master, and on the inside is Vautinsk. They swing out of the straight now, 2,200 metres to go, and the leader Gold Chip down the Maribyrnong side, 6 or 7 in front of Maybe Rough. Art and Les is third over on the outside of leading Bounty, travelling well. A length and a half, then comes Richard Cranium, Vautinsk on the inside of Mocha Master. They've gone by the 2,000-metre mark, and Gold Chip out 8 lengths in front here. Second placing Maybe Rough. Third is Art and Les, then leading Bounty, Richard Cranium, Vautinsk, and last Mocha Master as they work towards the 1,800-metre point. And it's Gold Chip now. Rick Morn trying to get the horse to settle back underneath him again. He's got a good hold on it. It's still 8 in front here of second placing Maybe Rough, Art and Les. Then leading Bounty, Richard Cranium, still out 3 deep from Vautinsk and Mocha Master. Past the 1,600-metre mark, and still the leader is Gold Chip. He's 8 lengths in front. They haven't pulled any ground on him yet. Leading Bounty, now getting to second, Art and Les, a length away to further back then Richard Cranium. Behind it Vautinsk, Mocha Master, and something's gone amiss with Maybe Rough. He's dropped out 4 or 5 lengths away. past the 1,300 metre mark, and the leader Gold Chip over that. 6 in front of leading Bounty and Art and Les. 4 away then Richard Cranium being ridden along, going up to join him Vautinsk, and further back then Mockamaster. And I'd say that the other one, Maybe Rough, will be pulled out of the event as they swing towards the 1,000 metre mark. It's still Gold Chip, 6 in front of leading Bounty. Art and Les sticking on then Vautinsk and Richard Cranium. Forget the other two, Mockamaster and Maybe Rough being pulled up as they run up towards the turn. 8.50 out, the next jump coming up, and the leader Gold Chip still 6 in front of leading Bounty, now closing. Third is Vautinsk. Art and Les is still there. He's coming right back to them, Gold Chip, and about 3 to Richard Cranium, who at the moment isn't travelling like a winner, but he does run on. And further back, Mockamaster, 600 metres out, and Gold Chip 2 in front of leading Bounty, Art and Les. On the outside, Vautinsk, and then 2.5 further back, Richard Cranium. As they come around the turn, 2 more to get over. 400 metres out, and the leader Gold Chip from leading Bounty. The outside, Richard Cranium now starting to put in. Art and Les struggling, Vautinsk. Here's the second last. Oh, Richard Cranium made a mess of it. Leading Bounty crashed through it also. Gold Chip still there on the inside. Now Richard Cranium coming after leading Bounty. Here's the last. Leading Bounty over the length. Richard Cranium second on the inside. Gold Chip leading Bounty in front. Richard Cranium dying on his run. Gold Chip sticking on with him, but it's leading Bounty. The Flemington Specialist in front, and he's going to get home. Leading Bounty first, scores by 2 1/4 on the line. Second, Richard Cranium. Gold Chip third. Then Vautinsk behind it, Art and Les, Mockamaster. And as I say, something's gone awfully amiss there with Maybe Rough. He's been pulled out of the event.
Number 2 leading Bounty, 270 and 180. 8 Richard Cranium, 180, and 4 Gold Chip, no third dividend.
Super Tab 2 leading Bounty, 260, 180. Number 8, Richard Cranium to pay 160. Number 4, Gold Chip, no third dividends. More from Melbourne.
Of the first out, Chicago O'Brien in the fast lane is showing speed, and Bizarre Twist has picked himself up nicely. He's going through in the centre. The Downsman handy, Hula Hoop is handy, but racing a little bit wide as they go to the turn out of the straight. Fresno Canyon is next on the outside. Double Duke scraping paint over on the rails. Crustacean is there in the centre. Eastern Choice Centre Symphony. Remiser getting back in the field, and Diamond Desire whipped them in. 1,800 metres left to go. Bizarre Twist has now worked his way to the lead. Bizarre Twist crossing over onto the rails to lead by 1.5 lengths. In the fast lane is running second. Chicago O'Brien is parked away third over on the inside. Wonder Hula Hoop is outside of the Downsman, fifth on the rails. A break of 2, Fresno Canyon and Double Duke together. Then Crustacean. Crustacean's about 8 off the lead at the moment. Eastern Choice next on the inside. Wonder Centre Symphony. And then Remiser and Diamond Desire. Speed is genuine as they race along the back and head up past the 1,300. And the leader Bizarre Twist by 1.5 lengths on. In the fast lane, Chicago O'Brien has won away third. He's box seating over on the rails. The length to Hula Hoop. Dittman trailing up nicely on Hula Hoop at the moment, right on the heels of In the Fast Lane. He's one off the rails, Mick. Back fifth on the inside there is the Downsman, then Double Duke. Further back in the field came Crustacean on the outside. In that bunch there too is Centre Symphony, Eastern Choice, then Remiser. And last of all as they sweep onto the 800 metre turn is Diamond Desire. Fresno Canyon is midfield. 800 metres left to go. Bizarre Twist is making play in front, leading by a length. Second is In the Fast Lane. Chicago O'Brien third, and fourth the outside Hula Hoop, followed by the Downsman, Double Duke, Fresno Canyon, then Crustacean, who's getting a go on. Taking off on the outside is Remiser, Centre Symphony, Eastern Choice well back in the field, and Diamond Desire last of all. They head around the home turn now, 450 metres left to go. Bizarre Twist straightens up by a half length on In the Fast Lane. Hula Hoop coming to the outside, joining in. Chicago O'Brien is under pressure behind them. He's going nowhere at the moment. Remiser to the outside, and Crustacean is starting a long run. Hula Hoop is after In the Fast Lane, 250 metres out. It's Hula Hoop moving up to In the Fast Lane, who's fighting on. Here comes Yorkie on Crustacean. He's flying home on the outside. Crustacean has gone to In the Fast Lane, and Hula Hoop double jigs through on the inside. In the Fast Lane is just in front. Crustacean can't get there. Beedman's lifted this over the line. It's won the money. In the Fast Lane first, tight second and third. Crustacean or Double Duke. Crustacean looked as though she just wanted to lay in a little bit. He had to stop on her. Remiser was next, followed in by Eastern Choice, Fresno Canyon, Chicago O'Brien, then Hula Hoop. Further back in the field was Centre Symphony, the Downsman, Bizarre Twist, and Diamond Desire.
Winner 9 In the Fast Lane, 740 and 240 in a photo over 10 Crustacean, 210, 4 Double Duke at 340.
And on the Super Tab there, as we get correct weight, Melbourne, 2 lengths by 1.5. 4.1 the time, the first. Melbourne, 9 In the Fast Lane, Brisbane, 7.10, 230. Number 10, Crustacean to pay $2.20, and 4 Double Duke to pay $3.80.
Racing here in the second at Royal Radwick, and Dibblesdane, the favourite, was first away. Mixed the Truth, the outsider, travelling second, and Booth moving up now 3 wide, looking for the lead and getting it. And at the end of 200 metres is going to be Booth, about 3/4 to a length on Dibblesdane. 1.5 Mixed the Truth, a length to Ed Mandy, and 3/4 of a length to York. So the stable mates first and last as they race onto the course proper here at the 1,000 metres, and Booth shows the way. 3/4 to a length on Dibblesdane. Just over 1/3 is Mixed the Truth. He's fighting for rain. At his quarters on the outside, Ed Mandy, and 2.5 lengths to York. This is the order, 800 to go, and Cameron Swan is slowing the speed noticeably on the leader, Booth, with a break of about a length on Dibblesdane. 2 away in third spot, racing Mixed the Truth on the inside of Ed Mandy, and a further 2 or 3 lengths off to York. Past the 600 they come, and Booth, bedecked out in his cerise blinkers to match the racing colours. He's first around the corner, 3/4 of a length on Dibblesdane, who's really going to serve it up to Booth now. Ed Mandy pulled around them, followed by Mixed the Truth, and York is on the extreme outside. 250 to go. Marshall's had to pull the whip on Dibblesdane. Booth fighting back, and Ed Mandy's coming at the pair of them. Ed Mandy got his nose in front now from Dibblesdane. Booth on the inside, and then comes York, but Ed Mandy, no luck at his last 2 starts, but plenty of good fortune today, and Ed Mandy all the way from Bateman's Bay wins it well. Ed Mandy beat Dibblesdane, 3rd Booth, 4th York, 5th and last the roughie Mixed the Truth.
For Ed Mandy, Super Tab, 410 180, 2 Dibblesdane 120, no third for 1 Booth.
4 has paid 470 and 190. 470 and 190. We don't see too many Bateman's Bay trained horses here in Sydney. And he is an exception by Sea Swell from Galaxy Bella, Bay Gelding 3, trained by Bernie Connell. For himself and KJ Connell, ridden by Matt Carl, rode him very well. Second goes to number 2, Dibblesdane. He's a costly failure. $1.30 by Dane Hill from Dandy Stepper, Bay Gelding 3, Anthony Cummings, John Marshall, and Booth number 1 will be third, a Chestnut Gelding 3, Handy Proverb, Sweet Habit, John Hawkes, Cameron Swan. 4, 2 and 1 are official. 5 ran 4th York. The time was 1:24.34, 1:24.34, and we'll have the sectional news coming up in just a moment. As I mentioned just prior to the race, sending a call to Arthur Ward in St Vincent's Private, recovering from knee reconstruction. It brings back some memories with Arthur riding some great horses. Red Craze, of course. Artie won a Caulfield Cup and a Brisbane Cup on him. He won a Caulfield Cup, I remember, on Rising Fast, and I remember Arthur Ward riding the mighty Tulloch to win the VRC Sire Stakes at Flemington. Now, the Quinella here at Randwick, 480. Exacta paid 15.50. Trifecta, 21.20. And the margins are a half length by 1.5 lengths. A half by 1.5.
The Racing Beer has jumped out perfectly on the inside. Apple Danish away smartly with Heads I Laugh. Wider out on the track, Lucky Rule, our Superboy, just behind the pace. Go Davo, go up in the line with the lead. And the widest runner is Warrior Queen. Celtic Dawn drifting back, and with it Simply Believe. Running down towards the 800-metre mark. And in the centre, it's Heads I Laugh, just in front of Las Classique, Apple Danish. Birra holds the inside. Go Davo goes 6 wide, 5 wide, Lucky Rule. 7 wide across the track, Warrior Queen. A length to Celtic Dawn pushing through. They're now Superboy and Simply Believe, but only about 4 lengths first to last as they race onto the course proper, 500 metres out. Birra the inside, Heads I Laugh just in front. Apple Danish over on the inside in the centre, Las Classique. A length for the back, Lucky Rule shaken up. Go Davo, go, asked to go. Our Superboy blocked for a run there. Warrior Queen's got it held up, and Celtic Dawn going through across the track where Apple Danish got up on the inside here at the 200-metre mark to head of Birra. Las Classique and Celtic Dawn on the inside, but Apple Danish broke away 100 to go, and the fillies home, too classy for them. Our Superboy flashing home, but Apple Danish wins a length and a half. Our Superboy third placing goes to Birra, I think, from Las Classique, and over on the inside Celtic Dawn. Behind those Go Davo, Go Warrior Queen, Simply Believe, Lucky Rule together at the tail of the field.
Number 1 Apple Danish, 3.90 and 1.70. 8 Hour Superboy, $2. 3 Birra, 2.70.
And on the Super Tab, 1 Apple Danish, $4, 160. 8 Our Superboy, 260, and 3 Birra to pay $3.
She's too classy for them, Apple Danish. Number 1, ridden by Michael Barlow. Sat just with the lead, allowed Birra to give a cover, and Mick Barlow's just pushed her through that hole near the 200-metre mark, 300-metre mark, and she's dashed away with
Racing now, Foreign Minister began brilliantly up the inside early. Charbon fast away. Mr. Newmarket has ridden for speed and he's bursting out of the pack, going to a clear lead. Crash Hot moving up quickly on the outside. Pride and Passion, and there goes Mokum. Look at him burn the turf early. It's Mokum going to the front now. Crash Hot second. Latin Quarters to third on the outside. Mr. Newmarket settling fourth on the inside of Pride and Passion. Then Black Sails, and in the red is Trap Deep. Foreign Minister next on the inside. Wonder Over the Moon. For the back in the field, then came Zadara, who's racing on the outside of Charbon. In between horses is right hand out Candy Scope. He normally goes quickly, Candy Scope. He's back about fourth last as they approach the corner. Graffiti Boy is with him, and then Ho Hum on the outside. Sidaryl and Lucky Reserve straightening up now. 450 metres left to go. Crash Hot goes to the lead from Mokum. Latin Quarter third the outside. Pride and Passion. He's had a lovely run just behind them. Tony Earhart is asking him the big question now, and he's joining in quickly. Mr. Newmarket behind them with nowhere to go. He's swinging across their heels. Foreign Minister to the outside. Pride and Passion in front. 150 metres to go. It's Pride and Passion a half in front. Mix lifting Foreign Minister. He's charging home on the outside. He's going to them. Yes, Dittman is going to get him home, Foreign Minister. Foreign Minister's too good for them in the run to the line and won it by a length. Pride and Passion second, tight third. Over the Moon or Mr. Newmarket. Then Mokum, followed in by Crash Hot and Candy Scope. Sidaryl was next. For the back came right hand out Graffiti Boy and in the red. Then Black Sails, Ho Hum, Charbon, Lucky Reserve, Latin Quarter and Zadara.
Number 5, Foreign Minister, $4.50 the win and $1.80 for the place. 17, Pride and Passion at $2.40 for third. 14, Over the Moon, $5.20. 6, Mr. Newmarket, $2.80.
On the Super Tab, 5 Foreign Minister, $4.50, $1.80. Number 17, Pride and Passion to return $2.40. Those for third, 14, Over the Moon, $8.90, or 6, Mr. Newmarket, $2.
It requires the photo for third. It's a photo for third. Foreign Minister by Huda Chief out of Tourist Visa, raced by RB, Mrs. MCRM and Mrs. JM Greenup, in partnership with BT and Mrs. C.E. Chapman, trained by J.W. Calder, and was written by Mick Dittman. Second place goes to number 17, Pride and Passion by Pride of Kalina, out of Mostly Special, trained by Lorraine Earhart, written by Tony Earhart. And the judge requires a photo for third. And that's going to be between Mr. Newmarket and Over the Moon, who...
And they came away in a pretty good line too, and one of the best to get going was the favourite Stonyfell Road, and straight to the front she goes, a length and a half Fair Diana. Ginzano wide out third, then Contentious, Sabra and Jack in the Box Golf Circuit, add a couple of lengths to Crying. Stonyfell Road over the crossing at the 850, leads about 3/4 of a length on Fair Diana, travelling third and very deep out Ginzano from Contentious, who's racing one off the fence on her inside, right up against the rail is Sabra, and then Jack in the Box and Golf Circuit, and 2.5 lengths to Crying. Down by the 600 they go. No change in the order. Stonyfell Road making play narrowly clear, a half length or so Fair Diana. Third is Ginzano, fourth Sabran, followed closely by Contentious, Jack in the Box Golf Circuit, and still 2 lengths to Crying as they turn the corner, and up the rise they come. And Bobby Alyssa has Stonyfell Road, a length and a half clear on Sabran. Third is Ginzano, tending to drop off, but as they come down to the 200, he pulls the stick on Stonyfell Road. Sabran is threatening on the outside, and Contentious making ground. Stonyfell Road still in front from Sabran and Contentious. Stonyfell Road a narrow leader close to the line and will win. Stonyfell Road narrowly from Sabran, third Contentious, then Golf Circuit, Jack in the Box. Crying followed home by. On the inside, Ginzano, and close up Fair Diana at the tail of the field.
Moving up Queanbeyan, 1 Stonyfell Road, Sydney, 210, 110, 9 Sabran to pay $4.60, 5 Contentious to pay $1.90.
Written by Darryl McClellan has paid $3.70. And number 5, Contentious, written by John Marshall, third. And the dividend for her will be $2.20. Stonyfell Road, a model of consistency. 12 starts prior to today, so 13 starts, 3 wins, 4 seconds and 4 thirds. Trained by Ron Quinton for GM Kelly, G. Kerry, V. Clement to A.J. Pior, D. Moon and Dr. R.D. Diplock by Sovereign Red from Archduchess.
Ranger Ronald's Regret, Tel Disco and Salieri's son Ivanhoe on the inside is working up to share the lead as they go over the first. Behind those, Trojan Give Desa's Fortune, Ambitious Return, Cold Reason back with African Prince, and last of all Galatois. Around the turn for the first in the lane here, and Ivanhoe and its Bush Ranger, the joint leaders. Its Bush Ranger took off and landed a length in front here of Ivanhoe. Ronald's Regret getting to third, a length away then Salieri's son. as they go over the second in the lane. About 3-2 Trojan Gift and Tell Disco, then Des's Fortune. The outside of those, Sir Herbert. Back behind it, African Prince, Ambitious Return, Galatoire, and last of all is Cold Reason. The third in the lane, and they're all on their feet, and it's Bushranger, the New Zealander, leading by a length as he comes to the next now. He jumped it perfectly from Ivanhoe, about 4 or 5 to Ronald's Regret and Salieri's Son, as they jumped the last in the lane at the winning post, and the leader was It's Bushranger just in front. Oh, he and Ivanhoe took off together, and they landed by 4 or 5 to Ronald's Regret. Then Salieri's Son, its stablemate, next a length and a half away, Sir Herbert. Over on the inside, African Prince saving ground from Tell Disco, Des's Fortune. A length further back, Ambitious Return, Trojan Gift, Galatoire, and 2 1/2 last of all is Cold Reason. The first down the Maribyrnong side, and these two leaders are jumping magnificently. It's Bushranger, about a neck in front of Ivanhoe as they go to the next now. They're out about 8 or 10 in front of Salieri's Son. Making a mess there was Ronald's Regret. Passed by African Prince on the inside and Sir Herbert the outer. A length to Tell Disco, then Des's Fortune. Behind him and comes Ambitious Return. Ronald's Regret jumping shockingly, dropped right out of it there. Trojan Gift is third last with Galatoire. And 4 or 5 to Cold Reason, who's dropped out a long last as they head into the gap now at the 1,500 metre mark, where the leader is Bushranger across the course, proper by a length and a half to Ivanhoe. 6 away third, Sir Herbert. A length away, Salieri's Son. Then Tell Disco over on the inside of African Prince, who's steadily making ground. Next then was Ambitious Return. Ronald's Regrets being pulled out of the event. I think Cold Reason might be too, as they go down the Abattoirs treble now, and the first of them is Bushranger, leading by a length to Ivanhoe. Closing third is Sir Herbert. A length and a half to African Prince over the next with Salieri's Son. 4 to Tell Disco. Then Ambitious Return, well back Des's Fortune, and I'd say we can safely forget the others, headed by Trojan Gift. Running down towards the next jump at the 1,000-metre mark, and the leader was It's Bushranger. A length in front of Ivanhoe, 6 away, Sir Herbert. African Prince continues to make ground as they go to the next now. Further back, Tell Disco, and with it go, Sir Herbert crashed to the ground at that. Tell Disco, Ambitious Return, and then Des's Fortune as they come towards the 800-metre mark, and they have only, 2 more to jump now. The leader, and getting away, it's Bushranger by 3 to Ivanhoe. 4 away, African Prince. 6 or 8 further back, Salieri's Son, Tell Disco. As they come to the second last, it's Bushranger. Ivanhoe fell on the flat. He went on the flat, Ivanhoe. African Prince after it's Bushranger, so the New Zealanders are a mile out in front. Tell Disco running on, Salieri's Son, Ambitious Return, and then Des's Fortune as they come down to the last at the 400-metre mark. On the inside, it's Bushranger. Jumped it together with African Prince. African Prince going home the better. Then Tell Disco, Salieri's Son, Ambitious Return. But at the 300-metre mark, African Prince shot away from its Bushranger, who can do no better. Tell Disco running to third. Then comes Salieri's Son, Ambitious Return, and Des's Fortune. 100 metres out, and it's all over. African Prince a mile out in front. It's Bushranger holding down second. Tell Disco running on pretty strongly. That's been a good national trial, but African Prince wins by 5 or 6. 2 It's Bushranger. Third in, Tell Disco. Next then was Salieri's Son, Ambitious Return, Des's Fortune, Cold Reason, Trojan Gift, Galatoire, and that is all.
5 African Prince, 10.70 and 3.40. 3 It's Bushranger, $2. 9 Tell Disco at $1.90.
5 African Prince on the Super Tab, 9.80 and 3.30. Number 3 It's Bushranger to return $1.80, and for third, number 9 Tell Disco, $5.10. The correction for third, that's the win dividend I've given you there, 190. That should read for third, number 9 Tell Disco, which was the sub. Now we look at dividends for the Gold Coast race.
Racing this time. Stand near the inside began fairly well. Tenuous actually beat them out. He's in front. The Bishop Atmosphere is showing speed. Elite Score and Turpentine is going very quickly from out wide. Stenner, Spy King handy with Pendolino in that bunch, and Paris Consort driving through as well. Just behind them, Travelling Man. And then Atmosphere on the inside of Just Gus and Brigadier Forever. Drifting back is Stand on the inside of Pilgrim's Comet. Getting well back in the field is Comic Approach with Unavailable Foreman Ali. And Sky's Will is last of all. Coming down the side, 650 metres left to go. And Elite Score shows the way. Elite Score is just in front of Turpentine, the outside. Spy King has won away third, but off the track, 3 deep outside of Paris Consort and Stenner on the rails. 1 to Pendolino, or Foreman Ali has taken charge of the jockey coming around the corner. and he's headed to the outside fence. Turpentine's in front, 300 metres out. Turpentine moved away from Elite Score to be a length clear. Up to third, Paris Consort, followed by Pendolino, Spy King, and Tenuous is coming through in the centre. Turpentine is the leader, 150 metres to go. Tenuous is coming after him quickly, and Spy King on the outside. Turpentine joined by Spy King. Tenuous, Paris Consort, and Pendolino in the bunch as well. Spy King is just in front of Tenuous. They're drawing to the line, and he's got the money. Spy King first, Tenuous second, third home Paris Consort, and fourth Pendolino. Turpentine stopped at the end, then the Bishop and Atmosphere. Just Gus was next, then Traveller Man, Brigadier Forever, Comic Approach, followed by Skies Will Unavailable, then Stenner. Well back was Pilgrim's Comet with Elite Score, Stan, and Forminale, very erratic. He's finished on the outside fence and last.
Number 11, Spy King, $50.20 and $11.70. 2 Tenuous, $1.70. 10 Paris Consort, $10.90.
Super Tab 11 Spy King, $49.30 and $11.40. 2 Tenuous, $1.60, and number 10 Paris Consort to pay $12.90.
Outside alley Spy King. Didn't make any difference to the Spy and didn't make any difference to Jimmy Cassidy. They've got the prize. He's my Spectacular Spy out of In the Making, an Imperial Prince mare. Is raced by Mrs. L. Davis, B&J Headley, trained by K. Davis Calandra, and Jimmy Cassidy had the ride today. It's a photo finish for second and third. Tenuous, I think, second. And was it Paris Consort we called in third place? I think so. Tenuous will be second by Sanction out of Flimsy, trained by John Hawkes, written by Darren Beedman. And here's the judge making his mind up now. He's about to put the numbers in the frame. Tenuous began very quickly, but then trailed the speed in the earlier stages. Loomed as a big chance halfway down the straight, but Spy King was just a touch too good for him in the run to the line. 2 is officially second, Tenuous, written by D. Beedman, and number 10 is officially third, Paris Consort.
Okay, 11-2-3.
And away. And one of the best to get going was Days Like This. All-night party jumped well, as did Family Fortune. CC Senor looking for the lead. And going quickly, Sharp Lord, and then Distinguished and Zarouche. It's CC Senor in front, about 1/2 to 3/4 of a length on the other grey. Sharp Lord working to the back. 2.5 Family Fortune, not settling well. A length to Days Like This, and then Zarouche taking closer order, followed by All-Night Party tending to Pull and Reef. And a length and a half Distinguished to the back of the track. CC Senor's rider slowed the speed noticeably. So it didn't suit a couple of the jocks, particularly the rider on Zarouche, namely Alan Robinson. And down to the 1400, Zarouche opens up 2.5 lengths on Sharp Lord, 2 CC Senor and 3 Family Fortune, settling a little better when the speed quickened. A break of a length and 3/4 to Days Like This. Racing inside of the favourite All-Night Party and nearly 3 lengths to Distinguished. Inside the 1200 they go. And Zarouche is the pilot by a little over a length on Sharp Lord. Then CC Senor, Family Fortune on the outside. Another half length away, 2.5 to Days Like This. All-Night Party the inside. In fact, All-Night Party is tracking Family Fortune, and still last is Distinguished. 8 between the field as they race onto the High Street side now. And on the inside, it's Zarouche just showing the way. A neck on Sharp Lord. CC Senor third. 1 out, 1 back next. Comes Family Fortune. 2.5 to All-Night Party. A length Days Like This, and still a length and a half to Distinguished. Racing along past the 700 metres. And the rider quickens up on Zarouche. It's Zarouche a length and a quarter. Sharp Lord, hard-ridden CC Senor the inside. Little Gibbons about to make some ground on Family Fortune. All-Night Party another length back, and then Days Like This, and 3 lengths to Distinguished. Straightening up, and 350 to travel. Family Fortune after Zarouche with CC Senor, and Sharp Lord sticking on pretty well, and a length and a half to All-Night Party. The riders had to go for the whip, but CC Senor fighting on well. Got away again from Family Fortune. Forget about All-Night Party. Distinguished in third place now, but it's CC Senor in no danger of defeat, and Kevin Forrester keeping CC Senor going, and it wins well from Family Fortune. Distinguished. All-Night Party followed home on the inside, Days Like This, and Sharp Lord in company with Zarouche jointly at the tail of the field.
Okay, number 8 there, CC Senor, 5.30, 2.40. Number 4, Family Fortune, 2.40. Number 11, Distinguished to return, $8.90. Now, they are moving up. In fact, no third, please. No third for number 11. They have raced at the Greyhounds. We'll fit that replay in when we can. The
Got away well down to...
Line is good. Off they go. Second coming first to jump out towards the inside from Daring Display, who got away quickly. Dynamic Tycoon is going very fast in the early stages, being followed closely over on the outside by Lusty Seymour, and dropping in behind them Aphrodite and Prince Dandana. A length further back along the inside there going forward. At that point is Bulldozer, a length and a half Meliti on the inside of What a Great Guy. Native Gospel is further back in the field, followed by Santero, sorting themselves out, coming up past the 1,000 metre mark, and Daring Display takes the leader. Half a length for Timescale on on the inside. Their second coming is well placed, followed by Dynamic Tycoon on the inside, getting a nice runner. A length and a half further back is Very Jussa making round around the outside of Aphrodite. A length and a half further back is Primo Express, being followed by Prince Standard. Over on the inside, Bulldozer. Malinti's a long way off the lead, followed by Lusty Seymour. Further back to Time Santiro. Native Gospel second last, and What a Great Guy is last of all as they come around the home turn. 450 metres left to go, and Timescale has moved alongside Daring Display as they set sail for home. Second coming down.